Hi everyone, welcome to Kole Sukailu, Real Aikaiwa Shadowing. Let's get started with today's shadowing lesson. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Hyomo, Ishoni, Step Up, Shumasho. Practice daily to master vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and rhythm. Repeat. Try again and again. Zehi. Shanaru no Toroku wo. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Okay, so you've just finished a delicious meal, maybe some sushi or ramen, and you want to say thank you in a way that feels natural. But how do you do it? Because there isn't really one perfect phrase in English for gochi-su-sama, right?
Exactly. It's like in Japan, gochi-su-sama is the go-to phrase. That's what everyone learns to say. But it's so much more than just saying thanks. It's about appreciating everything that went into the meal.
Right. It's about acknowledging not just the food itself, but the effort, all the work that went into it, the cooking, the ingredients. So how do we get that across in English?
Well, there are actually quite a few ways to do it, and they all add a little something different. Let's start with the most basic one. Thank you for the meal.
Okay, thank you for the meal. Seems straightforward enough.
It's simple, and it works in almost any situation. It's just like saying gochi-su-sama deshita in Japanese. You're just acknowledging that you've finished eating and that you appreciated what you were served.
So it is safe and easy to use, and you can just say it casually with a smile. What's next on the list?
All right, next up is I appreciate the meal.
I appreciate the meal. Sounds a bit more formal, doesn't it?
It does have a slightly more formal feel. You might use this in a business setting or with someone you don't know as well. It shows a level of respect and gratitude.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's good to have in your back pocket for those situations where you want to be a bit more polite. What else can we use?
Okay, how about the meal was wonderful?
Ah, the meal was wonderful. Now you're giving some specific feedback, right?
Exactly. Instead of just saying thanks, you're highlighting how good the food was. It's a nice way to show you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's a great way to be specific, and maybe the person will feel more appreciated because it shows you paid attention to the details. Makes sense.
All right, let's say you had dinner somewhere. You can also simply say, thank you for dinner.
Thank you for dinner. So easy and to the point.
Yep. It's similar to thank you for the meal, but it's a bit more specific. You could say, thank you for lunch, or thank you for breakfast too.
So it really depends on when and what meal it is. You simply swap the meal. What's the last one?
And the last phrase is, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. That's a good one when you're a guest, right?
Exactly, especially if you were at someone's home. It expresses gratitude not just for the food, but for the whole experience. It's about thanking your host for inviting you over.
Okay, so we've got thank you for the meal, for a basic thanks. I appreciate the meal. If you want to be more formal, the meal was wonderful for showing that you really liked it. Thank you for dinner if it's an evening meal. And finally, thank you for having me if you are a guest.
Yeah, that's a good summary. And they are all about expressing gratitude in slightly different ways. That's the key.
Right, and just like gochi-su-sama, it's more than just the words. It's also how you say them, the tone of your voice and your smile. All that adds to it.
Absolutely. And those little details make a huge difference in how your thanks is received.
So it's good to have these 5 options and pick the one that fits the situation the best. What if someone asks you to teach them these phrases?
Well, that's easy. You could say something like this. Oh, whoa. Okay, so the first phrase is, thank you for the meal.
Thank you for the meal. Simple, to the point. What's next?
Next, I appreciate the meal.
I appreciate the meal. A bit more formal.
Then, the meal was wonderful.
The meal was wonderful, expressing your enjoyment.
After that, thank you for dinner.
Thank you for dinner, specific to the evening meal.
And finally, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me, perfect for when you are a guest.
Exactly. It's all about choosing the right phrase for the moment.
So there you have it. 5 ways to say gochi-su-sama in English. Now you can go enjoy that next meal and say thank you just like a pro.
Yep, time to eat.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? Kyomo Sukoshi Zutsu Step Up, Dekimashita ne, Hontoni, Sugoi desu. Please let me know your thoughts or requests in the comments. And, Zehi Cheneru no Toroku wo, Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again. Ashita mo, Ishoni, Gambari mashone. See you next time. Bye-bye.